Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now, somebody who is somewhat frugal with their money, but at the same time tries to enjoy life, because again, you only have this one life. So you got to make sure that you have a good balance where you're not doing too much and you're not doing too little. And that means that you have to be good with money and at the same time, avoid certain pitfalls that you could encounter with money that could get you into trouble. Now, remember, we work so hard for our money. So you want to make sure that you put your money to its most optimal use for you. Now, today I wanted to share with you 5 things that I think that are the worst things that you could do with your money, because again, remember, we're trying to create generational wealth. We're trying to be better with money. We're trying to be good stewards of the money that we have. We work so hard for this money. So you want to make sure that you put this money to good use. The first thing that I think is the worst thing that you could do with money is not investing it. Now, hear me out. We hear this all the time, but I think it's very important to make sure that we invest our money in things that, number one, make us better or create wealth for us. The first thing is to make sure that you increase your skills. Increasing your skills just makes you more marketable. It makes sure that you can be able to put yourself out there and make more money using the skills that you have. So if there is something that you can leverage at work or at home or even online where you can take a course that can make you better at something and maybe get you some income, increase your income, that is one way to make sure that you're investing in yourself and that you're building yourself. Another way is to make sure that if you have a little money saved, if you have a little money left over after you have paid your bills, that you invest that money in something that will build wealth. This could be in a brokerage account. It could be making sure you put money towards a retirement. It could even be in a real estate investment. The idea here is to make sure that your money works for you and that it grows. If your money is lying dormant in a savings account, it's not working for you. And the only way for you to increase your wealth portfolio is by investing. Remember, like I always say, you can't save yourself to wealth. You have to find ways to invest your money for it to grow. Now, think of a farm. If you have a small section of a farm and you only plant, let's say, 5 potatoes, you only get back 5 potatoes. But if you can build on that section to build more potatoes, so where if you had 5 potatoes, so now you maybe invest in a bigger section, so you have 10 pieces of potatoes. That is a very, very literal example, but it just tells you that if you work on investing more, then you can get more out of that small thing that you have. You don't have to start big, you just have to start. So start small and build up. The second worst thing that you could do with money is buying things that you don't need. This could be fashion trends. This could be fads out there. This could be the next big thing out there that you don't necessarily need. Constant upgrades for things that actually work. Again, that is a bad use of your money. This is money that you could put towards other things that actually bring you something back. Now, I do not dispute that there is happiness in getting things and buying things. We are a consumer society. But I think it's also good to ask you, does this thing bring me joy? So do you need to upgrade to the next big car? Are you constantly leasing new cars? So that means that you never really own anything. You're just using money for things that don't really give you anything in return. I mean, think of this. If somebody is always buying the next big thing, so every 3 years you're leasing a new car, that means you never really own that car. So is this something that you need? Is there a better use for your money? That is the goal. That is the question here. Is there a better use for your money? So stop buying things that you don't need and really focus your money that you have worked so hard for to build you up, to create generational wealth, to get you out of a pothole, to get you out of any trouble that you are in right now. Find ways to stop buying things that you don't need. Third worst thing that you could do with money is not paying your credit card on time. Now, 42% of Americans use credit cards. So that means that a lot of us are using credit cards on a day-to-day basis. If you're not paying that credit card on time, you could be paying high interest fees. You could be paying late fees. I mean, picture this. A late fee could run you up from somewhere to $35 to $40 a month. That is a lot of money for nothing. Literally, late fees are nothing. It's spending money on nothing. It's literally taking your money and shredding it. So if you can find ways to make sure that if you spend money on a credit card to get those benefits, number one, make sure you pay it on time. Number two, make sure you pay the whole bill. Do not make a minimum payment. One thing that I always encourage people to do is to read their credit card statement. Go through that fine print and look at that section where it says if you make a minimum payment, how much you'll actually end up paying for that thing that you bought. Now, the consumer protection laws actually require the company to disclose this information to you. So it's there for you. So if you buy something for $1,000 and you only make the minimum payment, in 4 years, it could triple or quadruple the amount of money that you actually spend. So you could be paying $4,000 for something that you got on a deal for $1,000. Another thing that I see a lot is you buy something on a promotional sale. So they tell you that you don't have to pay interest if you pay for that thing in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. Now, this again is an opportunity for you to put your money to its best use. And I like these deals. If I'm buying, if I'm buying a new couch and the furniture shop tells me I can pay for that couch in 6 months, no interest, I'm going to take advantage of that option because it's like it's a debt-free loan. But that's only if you pay it fully in 6 months. If you do not pay it in 6 months, you not only get charged the back interest, but then it starts accruing interest at that high interest rate. And that's how these furniture companies and all these other shops make money. Make sure that if you buy something on a promotional sale where they're not charging you interest for a given amount of time, that you pay for that thing in good time. And you could automate this. You could set it up to pay automatically. You could put a reminder on your phone for you to make that payment. The idea is that if for you to enjoy that sale, for you to enjoy that benefit, you have to make the payment on time. Credit cards are a big, big pitfall for a lot of people. So if you can avoid that pitfall by just making sure that you take care of the basics, you pay it on time, you pay it fully, then you can avoid that pitfall. And you can make sure you stay out of debt. The fourth thing that I find a lot of us do is we don't put our money to use. That means that we put our money in a regular savings account. So our money is really lying dormant somewhere. It's not working for us. It's almost like putting your money in a mattress with some of these interest rates that regular banks pay. For instance, most banks will pay you maybe a rate of 0.01% on the dollar. That's not a lot of money. That's you literally putting your money in your mattress and letting it stay there. The only difference now is that your money is in an institution. Make sure that if you have the opportunity to put your money in a high yield savings account, in a certificate deposit, that this money is working for you. You're not thinking about it. It's passive income in a way. And for people who have a lot of money, this could actually be a lot of money that you're losing out if you're just putting it in a regular savings account. I mean, picture this. If you have $100,000 in your regular savings account and you're only making 0.01% interest on that money, that is costing you a lot of money in the sense that you could make so much more if you were to move it to a certificate of deposit, or if you were to move it to a high yield savings account that's paying you like 5% interest. That is a lot of money we're thinking about here. So please, if you can make sure that your money works for you by, number one, putting it in a place where it gives you a higher return, a higher dividend, do that right now. Before this video is over, make sure you research, find an organization that's going to give you a good interest rate, give your money to that institution for you to make more money on your savings. Fifth worst thing that you could do with your money, and I think this is quite critical because a lot of us fall into this, is not having a clear sight of your money. Now, this essentially is not having a budget. Now, I know we hear a lot about budgets all the time, and we get sick of it, we get tired of it, but that's because budgets are like the key fundamental, they're the basics of being good with money, of being a good steward of your money. You have to have a budget. You have to have a clear sight of where your money goes, of how much is coming in. Some of us don't even know how much you make. You get a promotion, you think you have all this money, but really maybe you're not making that much more, but on a monthly basis. So sit down and actually do a real deep dive into how much money that you make and how much money that you're spending month to month. This will allow you to make sure that you make proper allocations, and that also you are a good steward again of your money. If you are in debt, you want to make sure you can get out of that debt as quickly as possible so that you stop paying high interest to these financial institutions. If you have, for example, again, credit card debt, get out of that debt as quickly as possible, and a budget allows you to see this quite clearly. If you have student loans, trying to get those taken care of as quickly as you can. Also, again, it's a 6% interest rate, so maybe you can get away with paying it over slowly, but also now you're actually intentionally and actively looking at where your money is going. If you don't have a clear sight of where your money goes, it's like driving in the dark with no lights on. You really don't know where you're going, and you could jump off a cliff pretty quickly. So make sure that you are looking at how much you make, how much you're spending month to month, and you are directing where it goes intentionally. I think these 5 things lead a lot of people into trouble. So if you can take care of these things ahead of time, it will just allow you to be better stewards of your money. Make sure your money is working for you. We work so hard for this money, so you want to make sure that you at least can leverage this money to create generational wealth, to live better, and to be happier. If you found this video helpful, please do share. Please do subscribe. Thank you for watching.